What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here. We're back with the fourth round of Season 2 of the career mode today, here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and off the back of retirement in China. We come back into Azerbaijan hoping to put things right and really get our season back on track after a really slow start to the season. DNF, of course, in the last race, 10th in Bahrain. Quite lucky to get points in Bahrain, if anything. Quite lucky to get points in Australia too. Haven't had a trouble-free weekend yet. So coming to Azerbaijan, a difficult track for any driver, but one for myself as well. I really do not enjoy this track too much. It's just a track I cannot cannot perform around for some reason. And today we've got to try and do our best to see whether we can perform. But at the moment, on our main flying lap now, this is going to be our quickest attempt. We're currently P19, so really need to improve. We're surrounded by Renault, so Renault, again, at the back of the grid. Giovinazzi started at the back of the grid last time out. So Renault really struggling this season as well, which is not good to see. But now we're up on our lap time by a little bit, so it's looking good. And now we'll just go through these first few left-handers in Sector 1 and follow it up with the right-handers, the 90-degree turns. And really needing to improve this lap time. And really a disappointing start to the season. It's going to be a wet race as well, so that's going to be even more hard to deal with. It's going to be such a difficult first 4 races of the season, especially when there's a contract negotiation as well. Could we end up getting sacked from Alfa Romeo after this race? Hopefully we can have a good race, though. But we need to get a good qualifying to start off with. At the moment, it's not looking that way. It's actually not even looking too much better than our previous lap time. So up in Sector 1, just up by a tiny amount at the moment as we head through Sector 2. But really not the way we want it to be, because I'm sure our teammate is much higher up the order than us. So we've just got to keep going then, ending this qualifying session, and we've just got to get through this last corner now. And we just got a poor exit, really, not the exit we would have wanted. And now we're just got a run down through the start-finish straight on this massive straight. I think it's the longest straight in Formula 1. So now we just come up to that DRS activation point, see wherever we can get it open as quickly as possible, which we do. And coming across the line, can we improve from P19? Yes, we can, only just though.
Okay, that's pretty
We're
disappointing.
down in P17 for the race, where we really have a car that's capable of fighting in the top half of the grid. Should be in a point there. You can see our teammates second, we're 17th. So, yeah, not looking too healthy for us, although Lando Norris has had a disappointing day too for McLaren. There you can see the standings. We're really struggling down at the bottom end, and Lando Norris having a difficult day as well for McLaren. So it's not all doom and gloom then for us if McLaren is struggling as well. Devon Butler having a better qualifying than his teammate. So coming into this race then, it's going to be a wet one, so we're not looking too forward to this one, in all honesty. We've seen how badly the wet one went last time out, and how much of an advantage the drivers have in the wet conditions as well. I was not really filled with too much optimism as well, starting from 17th on the grid. We really needed to get some luck today. So coming onto the starting lineup then for the grid, it was Valtteri Bottas then, who managed to get a pole position for Mercedes, our teammate alongside. So Lucas Weber on a rich vein of form at the moment, complete contrast to us. Vettel starting ahead of Hamilton in 3rd and 4th there. Leclerc ahead of Perez, who's done well for Racing Point. Butler and Gasly out-qualifies Verstappen again, and Hulkenberg in 10th, and then Russell and Magnussen. So Haas and Williams not looking too bad, with Ricciardo a little bit off the pace. Albon, Norris, myself, Carlos Sainz and Giovinazzi, and then Roman Grosjean starting from last with a penalty. So let's see what we can do then in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix as we head towards those 5 red lights on full wet tyres. So we're looking to have a good start, and we're away then in Azerbaijan. It's a fairly average start, and we pull alongside to get past Carlos Sainz. We avoid him getting past us as we dive into turn 1, trying to get past Lando Norris into turn 1. Apparently we've had a collision with Grosjean and didn't quite see where that was, but he's fine, we're fine, we're not in trouble. We dive past a few cars now, look to dive past our former teammate Albon into turn 2, and we make the move to stick, so up into P15, so it's looking good at the moment. We've gained a couple of positions off the start, but now Albon coming back at us with that more traction that they have in the wet conditions. We're looking to fight him off as we head into turn 3. See Ricciardo ahead of us, so can we make moves on Ricciardo and help ourselves move up the order as So we look to make a move down on the inside of Ricciardo. He closes the door. We go over the curb though, and Norris is now behind us. So Norris is now looking to make a move on the outside of us. He actually hits us, and we're into the wall, and we've hit the racing point, and now we're around in a spin. And Carlos Sainz hits us, and we're out of the race on the first lap for the second consecutive race. This time through no fault of our own, and another collision with a McLaren. And what on earth did Lando Norris do here? Here's the replay of the start, and the supposed contact with Romain Grosjean. I didn't quite see where it was. It must have been just about there, but there it is. Another disappointing race. What did Lando Norris do? He completely turned into us and shoved us into the wall. At that point we were a passenger, and ended up running into the back of the racing point. Don't think he was damaged though, but then Carlos Sainz, as we spun round, he was just a little bit of contact enough to end up breaking our wheel off and ending our race. It would have been pretty much a game over from that point for us anyway, with no pit stops to catch up or safety car at that point either. But here we go then. A mistake from ourselves though, coming into this corner, trying to get past Ricciardo over the curb. But again, the amount of traction the AI can get in the wet compared to you is just unreal. And Norris just turns into us, and we're in the wall, and just run straight into the back of the racing point. And then Renault and Grosjean as well runs into the side of us. So here's the replay from Lando Norris. You see us going over the curb. Just the amount of traction he can get compared to us is just unbelievable. And we're looking to give him as little room as possible. He just turns into us, and we're a passenger at the racing point, gets away without making any damage. So lucky for the racing point. Here's the view from Albon's car. You can see it perfectly from here. You can see Norris goes to the outside. We're defending our line. He turns into us. We end up getting slammed into the wall. Lucky to not lose a wheel at that point. But again, it was game over anyway at that point. And here's the final view from Sainz, who can just we'll just see the Alfa Romeo just spinning the wrong way. Not really anything he could have done at this point. Well, you can see the Alfa Romeo just going the wrong way there, and knocking the wheel off, and Grosjean in trouble there as well. Didn't end up being able to catch the end of the race, so the standings were, well, Hamilton ended up winning from Bottas, and Weber was third. We had another DNF, so really difficult start to the season, although we were lucky not to have ended up getting sacked. So there you go, we're down in 11th still in the driver standings, a long way behind our teammate. 53 points, I've only got 7 of them, so yeah, I wasn't able to catch at the end of that for some reason, but I ended up having to make do with this. But there you go, guys. Another disappointing race for ourselves. Hopefully going to Europe and the Spanish Grand Prix will be able to deliver from then on, but hopefully we'll see you guys soon for a much improved performance from myself. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for the Spanish Grand Prix.